Hey guys, it's your girl Urban Chick One, and this is day 2 of my YouTube blast. I'm coming to you today to talk about a tip, especially that's good for trimming, especially for girls who are just starting to trim their own hair. I'm one of them, and there's a certain technique that I've been able to do that helps me with my trimming. I'm actually dusting more than trimming because I'm dusting my hair every 4 weeks instead of just waiting until I get a perm. So let's get started. One of the things that I've realized when you start trimming your own hair, most likely you have had your hair trimmed in the past by a hairstylist. Now, unless you ask that you want a blunt trim or however you want to state the technique of trimming, usually a stylist will try to trim your hair in layers, especially if you haven't had a trim in a while and they really feel like you have really bad ends. They might just cut off a lot and they don't want it to, they still want it to polish and style, even if you flat iron it, so they'll trim your hair in layers. So if your hair is trimmed in layers, it's not all one level. Especially if your hair isn't long, like my hair is not long, it's hard. Sometimes if it's your first time, you might feel like it's harder to trim. How do I know, like my hair is so uneven, how do I know how to cut it without cutting too much? So here's my technique. Basically, sorry, I'm looking in the mirror and looking here. Basically, think of your hair as two of my fingers. Now, the base of my hand is the head. Now, usually when stylists trim, they'll grab a piece of hair. Yeah, I'm looking in the mirror and doing this. And they'll bring it straight up. The reason why they bring it straight up and then they cut it straight across, because when it lays down, the hair will lay on an angle. So if these two fingers are two strands of hair that's on your head, you see they're leveled when they're straight up. But once I start moving down, you see that one strand that's on the top part of my head is shorter than the other strand. So that's how your hair, it's the same thing with your hair. And that's how your hair is being able, that's how it can lay in layers. So they cut it straight up, so when it lays down, it's different levels, so it's layered. So it's the same concept when trimming your hair. Because before when I started trimming my own hair, I'll just take the front part. It's the easiest part because it's straight. I was doing this. This is basically what I was doing. Now, if you can see, it's different levels. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to trim this? I don't want to cut across. I'm trying to cut at an angle. It's too hard for me to trim. If you can see, it's like it's different levels. This is shorter than these strands. So this is a tip. Just really observe your hair. Observe the ends of your hair and just really search. So when I do this, it gets shorter, but I bring it up until I see that the strands are all leveled, and it's just one sweep across where I can just easily trim. So I'll keep bringing it until I see. It's still kind of uneven, but still, you see that? Now I can just cut straight across, snap, snip, snip, with no problem. So that's a tip I have for first time trimmers. You're like, well, what the hell? How am I supposed to trim my hair? And it's like they're all different lengths. Like, how the heck do you trim your hair? So that's one, like, for instance, let me just go in the middle. See, this top part it is shorter than the other part. So you bring it out until wait a little bit. right there. See, now it's a lot leveled, so you can easily cut across. So that's just a tip that I have with trimming. Another tip that I have that I've realized is an issue is once you get those strands at an even level, sometimes, like, while you're picking up the scissors, you're trying to get ready to cut it, your hands, the hair is slipping out of your hands. So this is my tip. Take a couple of these metal rods, used for real estate. You just need one, really. Every time you take out a strand, before you cut, as soon as you have it, all the strands level, you can add pressure to your hair. I don't know if y'all can see my hair. Take this rod and put it right there. Whew, see? That's a release. That's a relief. So now you can just go like this and it's easier for you to cut. Especially in a bag. Like, for some reason when I try to trim my hair in a bag, the strands are always moving in between my fingers. Because for some reason, the only way my hair is level in the bag is if I pull it down straight. Since my hair isn't that long, I can't just do it like this. Like, it's more level if I put it straight down. But as soon as I do this, since I bring that strand up, it becomes uneven. Like, it's not. So it's like, as soon as I'll try to do this, and then I bring it up, it starts moving. You see that? So once you have it leveled, take your metal rod and then just clip it to add pressure so the strands won't move. See that? So I can easily just bring it over, draw it in, just like that, and then I can trim. So that tip is definitely helping me in trimming, since I just started trimming my hair and I'm not an expert. So if you just add pressure to the individual sections that you're trimming in order to keep the hair strands leveled. So I hope that tip helps you. And then my first tip was to really observe the strands of your hair and move them in an angle until all the strands are level, because your hair lays down, so you have to keep moving it up so it's one level. So that's my first tip, and I hope those 2 tips help you in your journey of trimming and dusting. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.